You know, you have to think, you know, how am I going to make this better? What can I do to make this better? What can I do to push my band, push my music, push myself, push other bands, help other bands out? You know, because with this type of music, if you're only thinking for yourself, that's all you're going to get is just everything for yourself. There's no fun in that. There's no glory. There's no nothing. You know, it's with heavy music, one hand washes the other. That's the way it has to. That's the way it has to be. And like I look at Jamie Josta, for example. You know, he helped so many bands back. You know, I mean, going back 10 years now. He would come to shows with his distro. He would come out like back in the Josta 14 days, and then when Hatebreed first started, pushing every band, hey, let me help you with this, hey, let me help you with that, selling merch, being at the merch table. This is the first time we brought a merch guy out in forever. So it's like I'm always up at the merch anyway. I sit at the bar, I talk to everybody, I network. You know, you got to make friends. You got to make friends, and then online, you know, it takes what 3 minutes to, you know, somebody says, hey, check out my band. All right, you know, I check out everybody's band. Anybody who comes, gives us demos, I listen to them all. I never let anything slide by, because you never know who's going to have that sound that you can help out, who's going to be the next big thing. You know, I mean, we've done a lot of big things in our career, you know, and, you know, we go up, we go down, that's how it works. You know, you just have to, longevity is the key in the game. You know, the longer you're in it, the better you are. More often, the more fans you get, you know, because there's kids always getting into it. And, you know, look at Hatebreed, look how far they got. You know, they did so much in the amount of time that they had. They kicked the door open for bands like us and for many other hardcore and metal bands in that genre. So it's, you know, you have to follow, you know, a lot of people follow his example as well, and I did too. You know, just, you know, basically, you know, be 100%, be a good person all the time, you know, and people will come back, people will respond. You know, you catch more flies with sugar than vinegar.
Tell me a couple of recent tour experiences.
We were out on tour with Hatebreed and Terror, and I think Sick of It All was on it also. And we played this place in Pennsylvania called, I think it was called The Staircase in Pittston, Pennsylvania. And they had the balcony closed. There was so many people, and you know, they had to open up the balcony when we started playing because everybody was just running for cover. Kids were just dancing everywhere. It was ridiculous, and it was maybe about 5 below zero outside, Fahrenheit. So it was so cold out, nobody wanted to go outside. So they had to open up the balcony. They opened up the balcony. We were direct support. Hatebreed's on right after us. Some dude is drunk out of his head. He's like, "Argh!" He leans over a little too far, and it looked like somebody just dumped their laundry off of the balcony. This guy took a header straight down, hit his head on one of the cabinets, and rolled over, hit the guardrail onto the floor, starts shaking. He's bleeding out of every hole, and like everybody's like, everybody freaks out because somebody thought somebody just threw like a coat or something. This dude jumps up and just runs full stream into a wall, just because I guess he was in shock. Finally, they get him, they hold him down, you know, and they get him on a stretcher. Show's canceled, show's done. Everybody's freaking out. They're like, oh, he died. They let him out of the hospital 6 hours later. There was one kid, he was dancing and he kicked somebody wrong, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, he's throwing kicks, like random kicks, not even trying to have a free form style of dancing or whatever. And he threw this one kick, hit a pole that happened to be like in the floor. This is I think in Rhode Island, and this place called the Living Room in Providence, Rhode Island. He hits a pole. His leg wraps around the pole, but it's like this part, you know, like it was so disgusting. Like one of those things where you know it's bending the wrong way, and he just instantly like, oh, you puke, you know, like you kind of got to hold it in. So bad. This was in Georgia at this one festival we did. They started while we were playing. They're setting fires in garbage cans, running around. Dudes are smoking crack next to the fucking stage. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Fighting with broomsticks and everything. It was called Bunny Fest. They're setting I don't know why it was called Bunny Fest in Augusta, Georgia. Setting things on fire. Some kid gets hit in the face and his jaw is not just broken sideways, broken down. So his mouth is stuck open, his tongue is all hanging out. The worst thing I've ever seen. One of my best experiences was actually like maybe about half a year ago. We were out with Despised Icon and Acacia Strain on tour, and we happened to be passing through Pensacola, Florida. Big military bases over there. Military love us. You know, we dedicate a lot of songs to our troops and everything, and like we support, you know, our friends and family that are in the military. That during one of our older songs, Blood Flow, right in the middle. Like when the song started, kids were just throwing folding chairs into the middle of the pit. Now this is a big room. The room holds about like maybe 1,000 people. Big, huge room. They're throwing chairs and garbage cans in the middle of the floor. So like it's about maybe 6, 7, 8 feet high. The breakdown comes, the pause comes. All the kids rush in, all the military dudes rush in. They start grabbing chairs, they turn around, and from the middle out, they just start beating into the crowd, throwing garbage cans up in the ceiling, throwing it everywhere. Chairs are flying, tables are flying, all the merch tables go over. It's mayhem. It's full-blown chaos. We did this one show on Mother's Day, and that just passed. And being like, I just recently lost my parents, is like, I wanted to do something on that day to where I wouldn't be thinking about it. So we went to New Hampshire, played a VFW hall, 50 kids. It's Mother's Day. It's an early show. It wasn't going to be that crazy. I was wrong. We're all at the bar, $2 pitchers. We're drinking our asses off. Everybody's fucking drunk in the place. All the bands are drunk. Everybody's hammered. And next thing you know, we start playing. Tables are going. The soundboard gets thrown across the room. Dudes are literally flipping out. Fucking the speakers start going. Next thing I know, I have no vocals. I'm like, all right, what's going on? I look over, and my friend Joey, he's the drummer for Can't Stand Losing, like this, Supermaning across, like I've got to do, Supermaning across the tables, across the merch tables, and just taking out the soundboard. And there's a picture of him on this one website of just like with a big smile on his face, and he's a big dude, just pushing over the whole soundboard. Everybody's losing their mind. I'm like, this is like the old days. I'm like, all right. And every time we get a show like that, it gives me faith that that people can let loose a little more here and there, which is good. That's what you have to do. Sometimes you have to just cut off any weight that you have and just let yourself go. Yeah. And when you let yourself go, you have the best time, you have the most fun. That's what we look for. That's what we try to get everybody to do too. You know what? In Europe, probably hardly any fights. Here, there's like almost a fight every show. Well, fights here compared to fights there. It's there, they respect each other, they respect everybody's, everybody's space. Everybody wants to have a good time. Shows out there aren't as frequent as they are here, where we have a show every night in every major city. There, maybe once or twice a month, they'll get a good package, they'll get a bunch of people come in, they'll have the big festivals, and the big festivals are great. We played Gruss Rock Festival 2 Aprils ago with we were out with No Turning Back and Terror, and it was amazing. Belgium, and we played at 12:30 in the afternoon, still to 13,000 people under this one tent, everybody singing, everybody hanging on every word, and it was amazing, just to have that at such an early time. And I couldn't believe it, and we were like, all right, this is cool, I could do this. Everybody had a good time, everybody had fun, and nobody fought. There was no fights, nothing. There was later on that night, Ignite was playing. Watching them and being on stage, all singing along, and he's just passing the mic to everybody. Everybody in the crowd is singing so loud, he doesn't even need to sing. They're all going. Somebody got hurt crowd surfing. What do? He stops the set, stops the whole song, gets everybody. I mean, this is 20-something thousand people to go. Everybody opened up, and they carried this kid off in like 20 seconds. They got this kid to like a medic. Everything was cool. Boom, show right back on. And then he thanks everybody in the crowd. No fights, no bullshit. Has everybody under control. Everybody cares. Everybody cares. A lot of places in the U.S., everybody's trying to be harder than the next kid. When I first started going to shows, I was 14 and going to see Warzone, going to see Helmet, going to see Agnostic Front, Madball, just going, and Terror Zone and Bulldoze, and just getting my head kicked in. Marauder, fucking going to Crazy Country Club, going here, going there, and Skinhead Central, and just being this little kid trying not to get fucking beat up. I remember there's one show I went to. It was a Nuclear Assault and Biohazard. When Biohazard first started, before any records or anything, and I was like, this is awesome, and I got beat the fuck up because it's like I looked different than everybody else. I was a little kid trying to fit in, and just trying to, it just didn't work. But yeah, exactly, they came and they were like, you don't belong here, and I had to keep going back until they realized, what, you need to go.